Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Cyber and You. Hey, I just want to take this time to say thank you to all our supporters out there. And if you stuck with us this long, you must like what we're doing. So let's go ahead and jump in. I know there's been a lot of demand on the last video I did for the Digital Storm, and we're actually going to do a review today. This is going to be my first time ever doing a review, so go ahead and bear with me. I'll just go ahead and start, and we'll take you through the website. You go to www.digitalstorm.com, and you're going to select the Vanquish. The Vanquish 7 is the model that I chose. So we'll just go ahead, and you can see here when you make that selection, you can see everything that comes with the Vanquish 7. Unfortunately, and as you all might know by looking at my original video, I do not have a dedicated GPU. I actually have bought one. I'm going to do a video later on about how to install that. I'm going to do a follow-up on how the gaming and benchmarks vary based on that upgrade. So as you can see, it's actually upgrade friendly, which is actually awesome because I've actually had to do quite a few upgrades to the base model. And you can see they'll take you through, it's VR ready, it shows you the inside. My setup's not as good as what they have here, but again, I'll go ahead and show you exactly what I got, and we'll jump right into this review. So you can see the dimensions here. We'll actually do a close-up shot here soon of the front and the chassis, everything like that. So you can see that Digital Storm offers lifetime support. It's built by experts, and it goes through an extensive testing process, which you actually see that when you buy it. They go through different steps before they ship it out, so they actually go through a lot of testing, and you can actually watch the video here of how they put these PCs together. You can kind of see the process of the product that you're going to buy. So here's the actual piece that I want to show you, and this is where I goofed up. You guys have seen that. A lot of you have commented on it. But as you can see, I only got the good tier, and that comes with a AMD Ryzen 5 2400G, and that's the chipset that comes with the for the GPU. And we're going to do a benchmark here in this video so you can kind of see just how bad it actually is. And you're going to get 8 gigabytes of RAM. You got a 2 terabyte SATA, which again, that's why I did the SSD upgrade, just for speed's sake. And that's really what I got. So I'm just going to select it, show you the process here. And it takes you through everything that you want to do. It shows you the core components. Unfortunately, like I said, I chose to stick with the processor and GPU graphics set. So it's the Radeon RX Vega 11 graphics card. But again, that's just part of the chipset. And you can see right here, it's actually part of the processor as well. But you have overclocking comes with the CPU. You can see that you get the Windows 10 64-bit edition operating system. It actually comes with recovery tools and virus protection using Windows Defender. Again, I would recommend go ahead and buying the level 2 so you can get your dedicated graphics card, which you'll see a massive boost in performance. Another cool thing about Digital Storm is their ability for you to pay over time using the bread program. So basically, what you're able to do is you're able to buy your system, but you don't have to pay everything right up front. So as you can see, pay over time, 0% APR. And I'm not going to do it now because I don't want to put an inquiry on my credit, but you get your rate, and then they come up with your plan, and that's basically it. And then obviously you have no prepayment penalties. I actually made my first payment as soon as I started. You don't have to, because you can wait a month after you purchase your system, or actually when they ship your system. So again, this is actually a pretty good option if maybe you don't have the money right offhand to pay for the system. You can actually use the bread program to be able to finance your system. So another cool thing that Digital Storm offers. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the system itself. So here you can see the inside of the system. Obviously we have the beautiful LED lights, and I'm going to go ahead and cycle through those while I'm explaining the other parts of the system. So as you can see, we have the heatsink fan on the CPU. I've already discussed that was the Ryzen 2400G by AMD. We also have the ASUS motherboard, and we have the Viper memory sticks that are 4 gigs a piece. Later on, I'm going to upgrade those because I'm doing a lot of video rendering, obviously, with the YouTube channel. I'm going to zoom in here so you can see, and then we're going to take a look at the back of the system. Show you all the typical ports, all the expansion slots that we have here. And we're going to look at the top. We have 2 USB connections, and then the slots for the microphone and the headset. Now let's go ahead and jump in the benchmarks. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do a benchmark on the capabilities of this GPU. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Heaven DX11 benchmark to go ahead and show you what kind of FPSs we're looking at. Ultimately, we're going to try it on the ultra settings, and then we're going to kind of see what it does. Just a couple of tests that I've done, it hasn't even cracked 30. I don't even think we cracked more than 25 and that's on average. Or actually, I don't even think that's for the max. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll show you what we're working with as far as FPSs and game performance. And if it doesn't do that well, I'm not even going to take the time to show you game performance because it's not even going to be worth your time. I'll go ahead and show you the boost between the benchmark of running it with this integrated chipset versus when I install the GPU later on. So let's just go ahead and run it at ultra settings. This is just to emulate what it might be like by running a game at its highest settings. So we'll just see if this GPU can handle it, and not only can it handle it, but can it perform well. And as you can see here, we're running through the benchmark test now. Unfortunately, right now, it looks like we're only hitting 8.2 for max FPS, which is pathetic. We're not even averaging 8 at the moment. It'll boost up a little bit more on some less graphically intensive scenes right here. As you can see, we're kind of jumping up into the average of about 10 range, which is, again, terrible. If you were in the middle of a game, this would be completely unacceptable. Right now, we're only hitting max FPS at 17.7, and the average being right around 10. So we're going to go ahead and just stop wasting everyone's time on this, and we'll go ahead and show you what it would look like if you ran a game at its lowest settings. So we're going to go to the low settings here, and then we're going to run the same benchmark test. And you can already see we're already averaging just in these first few seconds more than what we were averaging on ultra settings. But again, nobody wants to play a game at the lowest settings. You want to get the full gaming experience. So if you want the full gaming experience, obviously you're not going to be able to do it with the integrated chipset. And again, that's just a learning experience that I went through. Also, I was just trying to buy the most basic model of the Vanquish 7. Now we're hitting about max FPS of 25, but again, that's about half, less than half than what you would get with a dedicated GPU. So as you can see for this benchmark, this is totally a fail on the level 1 Vanquish 7. So you're going to want to opt for a desktop that has a dedicated GPU. So next we're going to go ahead and test the processor to see if it's going to hold up to what it needs to do. We're also going to compare it with some other popular models out there, and we're going to use Cinebench for that. All right, guys, welcome to the CPU test, and we're going to use Cinebench here. And all we have to do is go over here and hit run, and we're just going to run through the CPU test. And here on the left-hand side, you can see how it's going to compare with some of the other CPU models. And right here is just rendering a 3D scene. It's graphically intensive, and it should show us exactly where we're stacking up against other CPUs. And while that's running, you can go ahead and see that our processor is the AMD Ryzen 5. It's got 4 cores, 8 threads at 3.6 gigahertz. It says Windows 8 here, but it's definitely Windows 10, and it's running 64 bits. And it also shows up that it has the RX Vega 11 graphics card, but that is because it is an integrated chipset. And you can see out of the list, we're sitting at number 5. It's about mid-tier, which is pretty much expected with this model. It's not the best, nor is it the worst. We're actually sitting at 637 CBs. CBs is the system that Cinebench uses to measure CPU performance. And as you can see, we're definitely not up here at 1279. We're about half that. Anyway, you can see that it's not the worst, nor is it the best. So CPU, kind of rendered this about as fast as I need it to be. Later on down the road, I might end up getting a better CPU for this system. But for a base level system, this is definitely holds up to what you need it to do. And I'll go ahead and show you some game performance in the form of Apex Legends. I'll go ahead and show you the game performance in Apex Legends. I'll go ahead and bring that up right now. Alright, this is our test of Apex Legends. And let's go ahead and bring that up. Looks like we're running about 75 FPS right now.
So, you think you've got what it takes? They call us Apex Legends. But not all legends are heroes. Remarkable. Each fight for their own reasons.
I knew your every move. Shoot already.
From the ashes of war, legends are born. They're icons of strength and power.
Time to win.
Outside the ring,
Thank you.
they're champions.
You guys miss me?
Inside, they're equals. But the goal remains the same.
We drop.
Become an Apex legend.
Fight strong.
They say it's a sport of survival.
First blood.
You ask me, it's simple, eh? They kill you, they're better. You kill them, you're better.
Alright, let's get into some of the gameplay here so you can see what we're looking at. It's not looking very good when we actually get to the gameplay. Now when we get to the cinematics, we're running about 75, everything looked good. Now we're running at 17, 16, hovering around there. I haven't actually went into the game settings yet to see what level we're running at, but we know that we were running about 27 max on the low setting. So it doesn't look like it's holding up very well to this game. I don't know if you can hear that. I can hear some interference there with the sound. It's kind of jumping back and forth in sound, graphics. So let's go ahead and see what we're looking at. I'm going to create my character here. Let's just go ahead and do ready. I haven't played this game before, so kind of bear with me. Again, Fraps is showing you here in the left-hand side. Our FPS is pretty bad. It's jumping around. There's no consistency to it. Yeah, sound's jumping out. Game performance here is not good.
You can call me Bloodhound. Let us begin with basic movement. Complete the checklist on your HUD.
Okay, so let's just go ahead and do some sprinting. Jump around.
Follow me.
All right.
Sliding down hills increases the speed.
And we're hovering around 18. So again, like I said, you're gonna need a dedicated GPU
Remember,
for this.
you start with nothing and must seek out
now,
supplies on your own.
I mean, is the game playable?
Inside the territories, you
Yes.
can find
Is it
supply bins
performing
that
as good as it
carry
can?
weapons and resources you
Definitely
need to
not.
survive. Strong work. Grab your supplies. Your HUD will show what you have equipped. Follow the
Patching
checklist
myself
to
up a
access
bit.
and cycle through your inventory. Inside the supply bin, you will find a weapon and ammo. Arm yourself.
Yeah, again, hovering around
The
17,
battle calls upon
18.
you. Slaughter
Not
as
very
many
good.
targets as you wish. is important as well as the weapon you hold. Grab a second weapon. The field is full of choices.
Yeah, so game performance wise, this GPU integrated chipset, it's not really going to hold up. Unfortunately, I made the mistake of trying to go cheaper. I was just trying to do this to show you guys like, hey, you know, here's an affordable gaming rig. Unfortunately, skipping on the price, actually, I lost a lot of performance here. So again, I'm going to go ahead and do a GPU install for the next video, and then I'll do another review of this system post upgrade, so you can see the boost in performance I got with the upgrades, and it'll help you make a more informed decision when trying to buy the Vanquish 7. You might not want to go with the level 1. It might be better to go with level 2 on up to level 4. I know all of those models have dedicated GPUs. So again, thanks for checking out this video. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at CyberNU1, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.